She's not a congresswoman. She's not a cabinet secretary. She's not even confirmed by the Senate. But new evidence just revealed that this one woman may have secretly written Donald Trump's angriest attack on democracy and signed his name to it. Inside the walls of the West Wing, a 35-year-old aide moves through the corridors like a shadow, always within arm's reach of the most powerful man in America. And tonight we are pulling back the curtain on the woman insiders call the human printer, the woman a new bombshell analysis says quietly authored one of the angriest documents Donald Trump ever sent to Congress. Her name is Natalie Harp, and according to hidden metadata buried inside a 14-page memo, it was her fingers on the keyboard, not the former president's, when a furious letter accusing Democrats of covering up a stolen election landed on the desk of the January 6th committee back in October 2022. The digital fingerprint is unmistakable, time-stamped the very morning after committee members voted 9-0 to subpoena Trump himself, and independent journalist Marcy Wheeler was the first to spot it, with the Daily Beast confirming the finding through its own investigation. The White House, notably, has gone silent, declining to answer questions about who truly authored the words that carried the former president's signature. So who is Natalie Harp, and how did she end up so close to the throne that she is now being called the second most powerful voice in Trump's orbit? Harp arrived in Trump world in 2022, walking away from her anchor desk at the pro-Trump network One American News to become something far stranger than a communications aide, a constant physical presence who fetches merchandise, runs Google searches on command, prints out favorable headlines from right-wing websites, and drafts potential posts for Truth Social in real time, all while drawing a taxpayer-funded salary of $150,000 a year. Republican senators have publicly marveled at her access. John Barrasso told Fox News she functions as an extra set of eyes and ears for the president, saying that every time he has been in the room with Trump, Harp has been standing close at hand. The late Senator Lindsey Graham put it even more bluntly, telling allies that if you want a message delivered straight to Trump, Harp is the person you talk to. And Harp herself has described her role in almost obsessive detail, telling Fox News that during what she calls the witch hunts, she combed through legal analysis to build Trump's defense, tracked audience reaction during rallies to see which lines were landing, and maintains what she describes as a massive personal database of websites she monitors around the clock, scanning headline after headline until she finds one that fits the president's grievance of the day. Now rewind to October 2022, the moment this story turns explosive. The January 6th committee has just voted unanimously to force Trump to testify under subpoena, a stunning escalation in the investigation into the deadly Capitol riot. Within 24 hours, a rambling, all-capital letters memo lands on the desk of committee chairman Benny Thompson, opening with the words, quote, "The presidential election of 2020 was rigged and stolen," unquote, and spiraling from there into a furious, unverified rehash of Trump's long-debunked fraud claims. The letter accuses committee members of spending hundreds of millions of dollars on taxpayer dollars on what it calls a charade and a witch hunt, while ignoring what it describes as massive election fraud, and instead targeting, quote, "hard-working American patriots," unquote, who protested the results. Trump's signature sits at the bottom. But the metadata tells a different story about who actually built the document, word by word, on a laptop screen that October morning. And here's where the story gets uncomfortable for the people currently running the West Wing, because the questions about Natalie Harp did not end in 2022. They have only grown louder as Trump, now 80 years old, leans more heavily on unofficial channels of information flowing around him. Multiple White House officials, speaking to the Wall Street Journal on condition of anonymity, have raised alarms about the sheer volume of material Harp funnels directly to the president, outside the normal chain of command. Material some officials describe bluntly as false or misleading. Think about what that means for a moment. A single aide, unelected, unconfirmed by Congress, filtering headlines, framing narratives, and shaping the information diet of the most powerful office on Earth, with no official title that fully explains the scope of her access. And the picture gets even more personal. The Daily Beast has separately published 2 unusually intimate letters Harp wrote directly to Trump, filled with effusive praise and declarations of what she calls her undying devotion to him, letters that read less like standard staff correspondence and more like something out of a royal court. So as this metadata revelation spreads, the real question isn't just who typed the words in that October memo, it's how much of what Donald Trump believes, says, and posts to the world is actually being pre-selected, curated, and in some cases possibly fabricated by the woman standing just behind his shoulder. Is Natalie Harp simply a devoted aide doing her job, or has she become something closer to a gatekeeper controlling the flow of reality itself into the Oval Office? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want the next investigation the moment it drops, make sure you're subscribed because this story is far from over.